afternoon, everybody. Let's get started. My name is Carlos Garrett, and I'm the Deputy Economic Development Administrator for the City of New Haven. I'm just really excited to be here. This is a project. This project is a project that germinated in 2014, if you guys can believe it. For those of you that have been in the neighborhood, you'll remember when we first heard about this. I actually have spent most of my adult life living in Worcester Square as a renter, and I recently moved to the west side of town a couple years ago. But so I was really here for the beginning of this project, and it's just so exciting. I think it really speaks to a larger reconnection of the downtown to Worcester Square. We're reconnecting our downtown to the Hill neighborhood with some of the other projects that you might be seeing, Downtown Crossing and the Hill to Downtown project that's almost completed. So this is really a larger than just 300 units in the neighborhood. It's part of 700 units in the Chapel and Olive area, where there was previously hasn't been housing here for decades. So it's a really exciting day to be here. I just want to thank before we move too far down the program, I just want to thank city staff who are not up here speaking. Steve Fontana and Kathleen Krolak from Economic Development, who were the project managers on this for the last 8 years. So I really want to thank them for helping us get through this project. It's been a long time coming. I just want to reference a little bit the Worcester Square planning study that we undertook with the neighborhood in 2016. Some of you folks are here. A project like this was generally really envisioned in the Worcester Square planning study, connecting the Worcester Square to downtown, transit-oriented development near the train stations, both on State Street and in Union Station. So I really want to thank those of you that are here. I see Elsie Chapman, the Murphys are here. Some folks may not be here, Quarterly Benoit and Naomi Campbell from the neighborhood. They really led us on this journey with the Worcester Square planning study that really envisioned some of the projects you're seeing here. So, and Ashley Farwell as well. So none of that would have been possible without them. So I just really wanted to thank them. With us today, we have the mayor, Alder Rodriguez, the developer Darren Seid, you can't forget him, and Garrett Sheehan from the chamber. They're gonna talk a little more. Oh, and Ginny Kozlowski from EDC. I'm sorry, she was late. But they're gonna talk a little more about this project. But we're just really so excited to welcome you here today. It's been a great partnership. We're really looking forward to the next phase, 20 and 34 Fair Street, which is directly adjacent to this site. Mr. Seid is providing a lot of public access to this area that where none existed before, at least for the last 50 years, going back to the redevelopment era. So you're going to see, as the next phase of the project nears completion, you'll see a reopening of Fair Street to the community in perpetuity. You'll see, in this existing project, you'll see a beautiful, extended 40-foot sidewalk on the Union Street side with amenities, benches, plantings, decorative concrete. So we're really grateful for all the work that you put into this, and look forward to working with you on the next phase. Thank you. Mayor, just a moment.
This is incredible. This is incredible. I was thinking to myself when Carlos was talking, as I was listening to him at the same time, but I was thinking to myself, if I imagine standing on the corner of Chapel and Olive maybe 5 years ago, and then snapping your fingers to what it looks like today. And it is ridiculous the way that the community has changed here and the development has changed. And imagine in another 5-10 years, snapping your fingers again and thinking about what it's going to look like, because there are so many more developments in the pipeline. You're looking at not only some of the new developments that have been in the news recently have been improved in this corridor, but also we've gotten a significant amount of funding to redesign State Street to make it more walkable, bikeable, traffic calming, and open up a good number of developable parcels all around the transit centers. You think about what is going on in New Haven, and it is remarkable what's happened in the last few years. You have sites like this, you have 101 College, you have the future of Union Station that has been settled. There's going to be an expansion there. You have Tweed overcoming all of our expectations. We're going to be announcing some new flights tomorrow at a ribbon cutting. It is unbelievable what is going on in the city of New Haven. And we're doing this in an inclusive way. We're doing this that benefits all in the city. And that's tied to these sites because we're getting a significant amount of tax revenue to help us support a lot of the other initiatives. It's also tied to many of the other developments that are going on. Science Park, you're going to be seeing new development. The Beulah Land development project on Dixwell Avenue. There's so much going on in this city, and it's just exciting to feel the kind of energy. People are betting on the future of New Haven, and this project shows just that. So very excited about the partnership and your willingness to say this is the place to invest. And you're already what percent leased up? Can we share that?
About 30%.
30% already, which is incredible with 299 units. Almost made it to 300. Almost made it to 300. So congratulations, Darren, Seid, for the work that you have done to get us to this point. So Olive and Worcester, 299 units, a mix of studio, 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom units. There's also some co-living apartment options. I'd be interested to hear a little bit more about, not because I'm looking, but what that actually means. And it's a much needed addition to New Haven's housing stock. There's a lot of pressure on the housing market, as we have all seen, and those prices are rising. And there's a lot of different initiatives that the city is implementing in partnership with Alders. I see Alder Punzo there, and Alder Rodriguez is going to speak in a minute. To improve options and affordability, and one of the ways that we do that is just having a lot more units online, right? To bring the pressure of those prices down. Darren and his team working with the Worcester Square community is pretty key here, in seeking to honor the character and the past of the Worcester Square neighborhood while also reinventing it to reflect the live, work, and play energy of New Haven's economy. And also, Olive and Worcester Apartments is key to the redevelopment efforts, is transforming this city block into an active, walkable pedestrian corridor along Olive, Union, and Fair Streets. That's connecting Worcester Square and the Hill to downtown neighborhoods. A lot more going on in the pipeline, and I just wanted to make sure that I emphasize the thanks not only to so many city staff, and if I started to list you, I'd forget someone, but I see a lot of friendly faces here, and our partners. We've got some up here, but we have a lot. I'm looking at Lindy. I saw Shelley from Arts and Ideas. I saw Wynn. A lot of folks here that are partnering to make sure that our community is one that ensures that everyone has the opportunity to thrive. So with that, I think I'm going to hand it back over to Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I got to do this intro. Before we introduce Ward 6 Alder Carmen Rodriguez, I just want to give you a little background on the role that she played here. You might think of this as Worcester Square. I mean, I guess psychically it is Worcester Square, but this is actually in Ward 6, which really straddles downtown, the Hill, all the way down to City Point, and part of Worcester Square. And so Alder Rodriguez really has a lot going on in her ward right now. She's got the Hill to Downtown, like I said, the 600 units, what we call the Hill to Downtown project by Yale New Haven Hospital. She's got the Coliseum, the former Coliseum site, the Spinnaker project that's just about to kick off. And then she's got a lot of these Worcester Square developments as well. I'm probably missing a few more, but she's really been, as far as just not just this project, but also your second project, I think that's in progress. She's really pulled the community together. She's been holding community meetings. She's been holding us accountable as a city and as a development team, the development team, to make sure that there's, that community input is heard. So I just want to, take a moment to thank you and look forward to working with, we really have enjoyed working with you and look forward to working with you on all of these projects throughout the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Carlos, for that. And I also want to thank the mayor, the city staff, and also the Board of Alders. Together, we are wanting to see the conversion of the Hill and Worcester Square neighborhoods come together. So absolutely, there's a lot of work. Carlos referenced to that, the mayor referenced to the Union Station, the airport, and so many things that are taking place to connect Hill to downtown, and that's our mission. I do see some of the residents here from the Hill, and I want to thank them for that. I also want to especially thank Darren, Seid, the developer. Many nights we spent on the phone on his while he was with family, because we wanted to get this right. And so I appreciate your push to ensure that the Hill was represented in this conversion of bringing two communities that have always been together, but knowing that everyone has a seat at the table. We will have the next development, which is Fair Street. You and I have talked about that already, but opening the street and having him take care of it, although it will still be maintained with the city, speaks to what he wants to do. And so I appreciate how you've reached out, your concern for community clear across the city, and bringing all of us together. And as promised, we will be out there sitting once that walkway is open, so we can enjoy that cup of coffee or a glass of wine, because you've done you've done a lot of homework to bring us together. So I thank you. I look forward to additional projects with you. And here we are, Hill to downtown, connecting the Hill with Worcester Square. Who could ask for anything better? So looking forward to a great partnership with the city. So again, thank you all.
Thank you, Alder Rodriguez. Next up is Ginny Kozlowski, who's the Executive Director of the Economic Development Corporation of New Haven, as well as the Regional Economic Development Corporation. And they do a lot of the business retention and attraction for the city, as well as tourism and other sundry duties, too many to mention. But Ginny, thanks so much for your support with this project.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ginny Kozlowski. As Carlos said, I'm the CEO of the Economic Development Corporation of New Haven. To give you a little background of the role of the EDC in this project, back in 2012, we did the Hill to Downtown plan out of our office, which this is a major component of that plan. So we're so proud of this project. We're proud of Darren, and it just goes to show an example of the vibrancy of the city of New Haven. So first, congratulations, Darren, on this project. And we, over the past 2.5 years, the EDC office is on 28 Orange Street. So we've watched the progress of this building being built, and I'm thrilled to stand here today and say, welcome to our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Ginny. Next up is our the Executive Director or CEO of the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce, Garrett. He also has, under his leadership, they really have increased their business outreach, their business retention activity as well. So they've been a really great asset working with both the development community and our small business community. And they've done a really great job at getting some money out on the streets to businesses during COVID and providing a lot of guidance during the last tough couple years of COVID. So Garrett, without further ado.
All the intros to the chamber. I really appreciate those kind words, and this is such an awesome day to see this project come to life. Darren, congratulations to you and your team. We were just talking about, it was either 2018 or 2019, we were standing out here in the lot, and this was a tremendous plan, but to actually see all of this come to life has been amazing. I know we have a lot of chamber partners who are in the audience who have all been a part of this project, working through different various steps, so thank you to all of you for all the work you do to continue to develop New Haven. Also want to thank the city, the mayor, the alderwoman, all of the alders for continuing to welcome investment into New Haven. We can do it the right way. We can continue to grow the city and the region, and there are so many things happening. And to all the investors who want to make that investment in New Haven, like Darren, I remember sitting in my office during the early days of the pandemic, and I could see over here, and just seeing that construction continue to happen on this building, it was exciting to know that we still had a lot of great things to come, a lot of great days to come. So again, this is an awesome day to be able to open this facility, and Darren, thank you again for that investment in New Haven. Congratulations.
Thank you, Garrett. So we waited for the end for you, Darren, but really we've been thanking each other and thanking our partners in the community, but this project would not be possible without Darren's vision on taking a risk on New Haven, taking a risk on an area, like I said, that has not seen any residential development in decades, and where there was no residential development to speak of. So really we thank you for believing in the city and believing in this site, persevering during the pandemic. I mean, you built the whole thing essentially during the pandemic, and that doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you so much, and we look forward, like we've all said, we look forward to working with you again in the future.
teleprompter ready here. Excuse me 1 second. So, where's Rob? Rob O'Meara, where is he at? Rob, the fireplace works.
A little bit
I got the spot right in front of it. It's working. Yeah, so great to hear from everybody. Thank you all so much. Got a lot of thank yous to do in what I prepared here, but it was great to hear from everyone today. Carlos taking the lead. And I just want to say something up front here. It's a lot of mention about Darren and my company. This is a partnership with Adam America. These guys are outstanding partners. Couldn't be more grateful for you guys. It's a co-development between both Adam America and Epimony, but I appreciate all the kind words said so far. Is this, yeah? So it's been a long and windy road to arrive at this point. On behalf of the development team from both Adam America and Epimony, we are extremely grateful to be here with you today. To be standing here in a building that was first conceptually designed back in 2014 is an achievement that took a lot of hard work by multiple mayoral administrations, exceptional individuals that pride themselves in relationship building, from the Office of Economic Development, Mike Piscatelli, Steve Fontana, Kathleen Krolik, Carlos, to name a few. A great building department led by Jim Turcio, support from our area Alder Carmen Rodriguez, years of community engagement, best-in-class design professionals and engineers from Niles Bolton Associates, Langen, Alliance, Haley and Aldrich, great legal minds from Carolyn Cohn and Greg Musili and their respective firms, and a world-class construction management team from Whiting Turner. Please give yourselves a hand. Additionally, we'd like to thank our investors and capital partners for trusting in our vision for this endeavor. In particular, we'd like to thank our equity partners, all of whom had never invested before in New Haven. We first reached terms on the land in late 2017, closed our initial investment in Worcester Square in 2018, then rolled up our sleeves and got to work. We were gifted an incredible design team by the seller, which we were happy to keep on. They have actually collectively designed the western side of Olive Street from the north side of Chapel down to the UI facility on Water Street. All of it. To Niles Bolton Associates, led by Walter Ploskin, Haley DiNardo, and the rest of their team, we're very grateful for you and your efforts on this transformative design that honored the area and tried to speak to Worcester Square as much as today's construction methodologies and investment strategy would allow. Oftentimes, when I look for land, I will get to know a city for a while first. Overlay the zoning map against population centers, transit hubs, hospital systems, courthouses, large office complexes, lab space, retail centers, etc. In this case, the plans were already approved and the site found its way to my inbox via Ricardo Gordito of the Gordito Group, a great broker who has since become a close friend. Who could have become a close friend with someone who brought us this, right? Knowing what I know now about New Haven, I could not have handpicked a better location for a new multifamily development with a retail corridor ripe for activation. To play a role in the revitalization of this pocket of New Haven is extremely gratifying for us. With these plans and subsequent others, we were able to help stitch together this gorgeous and picturesque pocket of New Haven, with downtown, the Hill, and the biotech haven being developed up the road en route to Yale New Haven Hospital, all the while being just a stone's throw from downtown city center. This project casts a very wide net for our tenant base that Mayor Elicker alluded to. Most comparable buildings constructed around this time have an entry-level price of around $2,000 for a studio. Our building has an entry point of under $1,200 a month. That would be in a collective unit, which is a 4-bed, 4-bath product that allows for lease by the bed leasing or full unit leasing, all coming with Wi-Fi included and easy to manage utility billing per bed, with an option to be fully furnished for an extra $100 a month. Great units for the plug-and-play tenant or a family in transition. We also have standard units from studios, 1s, 2s, and 3s, including duplex townhouses with fireplaces and private outdoor space with direct access to our pool courtyard, just out there. A truly thoughtful and impeccable design by our architectural team. We were even able to bring in the oak trees we had to chop down on Union Street for this development. And there's a communal table right there. This wall here, this wood above the fireplace that wraps around, and the wood behind the clubroom bar, all came from the oak trees that we had to chop down on Union Street to execute the development. The design team had a top objective of delivering oversized sidewalks, 42 feet wide at Union and Fair, meticulously designed streetscapes on all three fronts, Union, Fair, and Olive, and a plaza space on Olive Street that supports our 8,000 square feet of retail and will be enjoyed by the community for years to come. Our retail is being marketed by a great team of Frank Greco and Mike Boyarsky from the highly reputable Sullivan Hayes. We are negotiating offers as we speak and expecting some exciting announcements for tenants this summer. Throughout this development, there were some challenges, as with all developments. We ultimately closed our entire investment in February of 2020, just before this little hiccup occurred right in the middle of our development timeline. Not sure if you heard of it, something called COVID. The development timeline was about to be obliterated by a global pandemic, or so we thought. A man who was once a New Haven alder, who signed up to serve this city by helping rehouse the homeless, developing youth safety programs for at-risk youth with a focus on community activities, increasing job training, tackling affordable housing, and targeting the rehabilitation of a challenged city budget, just to name a few items. This former alder was now charged with saving the lives of his citizens. Mayor Justin Elicker and his administration were now our caretakers, more than ever before. Instead of panicking, like some first-time mayors might have done, he and his team endeavored upon the unthinkable task of leading this beautiful city through a gruesome time. Through his leadership, the city of New Haven moved through this with care for its citizens' safety first and foremost, while remaining conscious of the business community and the effect on tax revenue and the ripple effect on all our lives. An incredible task. In light of the circumstances, his work was truly masterful. Please, everyone, a hand for Mayor Justin Elicker, his administration, all the first responders, medical professionals, and volunteers that helped pull us through an unprecedented time. So when we got the word there was a nationwide shutdown, but Connecticut, and furthermore New Haven, was remaining open to construction activity, we got to work. The way our construction manager, Whiting Turner, and the team of subcontractors navigated the new protocols, mask wearing, cleaning, hand sanitizer, hand washing stations, COVID tracking, testing, vaccinations, the buyouts just before a balloon in escalations, and ultimately the execution of this project in the most challenging time in the construction industry in my lifetime was extremely impressive. We are all grateful for your efforts and sleepless nights to meet timeline and budget, especially the stair that you guys finished this morning. That's no joke. This morning. Great job. So here we are. We are on time, on budget, and in lease up in a beautifully constructed building that has the fingerprints of so many. Be Home is our marketing and management team handling on-site operations, and we are so happy to have a partner in them. If you or anyone you know is in the market for an apartment, please stop in the management office on Union Street and let them know you were here today and we'll give you a special. Get in there quick. Units are disappearing faster than a New Haven pizza. I'm a dad now, so I got dad unit. In the end, this kind of project only gets done with a collective effort from a team of people who believe the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The teams here exemplified that during an extremely rough time, and from the bottom of my heart, we are grateful for all of you. Please enjoy some food and drinks, and if anyone wants a lease, let's get you signed up today. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you for acknowledging Adam America. I did not. I remember this is a co-development, so thank you so much. Are there any questions before we cut the ribbon? Are there any questions that for Darren or anybody else up here?
Got a few for Darren, if I may. When did the first tenants move into this building? Was it this month, last month, a couple months ago?
November.
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 And you said you're currently around 30% leased up?
That's correct.
What's the range of rents for these apartments? You said $1,200, but I think you said per bed in bedroom apartments. So what's the range of how much might one pay?
The $1,200. There's actually, I think there was one for $1,174, which is a lease in itself. It's not for an entire unit, but it is its own lease. And you have entry level from there, and a lot of other in that range, a lot of other leases in that range. And then the most expensive unit might be around $6,200 or $7,000.
And how much is like a one bedroom or a two bedroom on average?
A one bedroom is in the range of $2,200, and a two bedroom is in the range of $3,000. And different floors, different individual amenities to the unit will get different pricing.
Could you speak a bit more about the co-living setup? So people can rent by the bedroom in just the 4-bedroom apartments, or does that apply to different size units?
We have currently rolled it out only in the 4-bedroom, and if there's a ton of demand and we want to look at rolling it out into 3 beds or whatnot, we potentially can, but right now it's strictly focused on a 4-bed product.
What have you seen the most demand for? Which type of unit?
Funny enough, from a percentage standpoint, the 3 beds, which usually are a little slower, from a percentage standpoint, have done very well. All of the units are trending kind of in the same range, but from a percentage standpoint, 3 beds are, funny enough, doing a little better. But total number of leases, the 1 bed I think is in the studio, and the 1 bed I think are neck and neck in the lead.
Is it meeting your expectations, the demand for units at this point?
Yeah, thankfully, and this time, to phase in, it's 299 units. It's a lot of absorption at once. So the plan was always to phase in. I mean, the construction team, the design team did a lot to meticulously separate firewalls and be able to bring the building online in phases, and then to work out the kinks a little bit, and now be in this time of year with a completed building, a stairwell that we can see now as of this morning. It's moving along very smoothly. We're grateful.
And what are potential lessees responding to the most? Is it the location? Is it the individual amenities? Is it the pool? What?
Yeah, I think it's all of that. So some areas of the city will be considered a dynamite location for a certain tenant, and other areas like this one will be considered their top location for a particular type of tenant that desires this picturesque neighborhood and stone's throw from Worcester Square Park and the retail corridor. So whether one tenant to the next, location, or all the amenities, we're seeing a lot of demand from different pieces of the market, different demographics.
To ask another question about demand, so this is 299 apartments, but hundreds more are going up right next door and across the street, and on your own Fair Street development. Do you think there's enough demand on this 3-block stretch of Olive Street for hundreds of more, maybe 1,000 more apartments?
Yeah, it's not just that I think it. The data, the absorption, the data keeps proving it true. So it's a lot of smart investment dollars are chasing this around, and capitalizing the one across the street is a ton of demand. And a lot of smart people with access to a ton of data are very excited about this whole area.
Thank you.
Thank you.